The US dollar has reigned supreme in the global economy for decades. Since the end of World War II, it has been the world's primary reserve currency. This means countries hold a significant portion of their foreign exchange reserves in US dollars. They use it to settle international transactions. The dollar's dominance has provided the US with significant economic and political leverage. The Bretton Woods Agreement of 1944 solidified the dollar's status. This agreement pegged the value of gold to the US dollar. Other currencies were then pegged to the dollar. This system fostered international trade and investment. It helped to create a more stable global financial system. The US economy's size and stability have been key to the dollar's preeminence. The US has the world's largest economy and deepest financial markets. This gives investors confidence in the dollar's long-term value. The dollar's dominance has benefited American consumers and businesses. It has given them access to cheaper goods and services. De-dollarization refers to the process of reducing reliance on the US dollar, a currency that has long dominated global trade and finance. This can involve using alternative currencies for international trade and financial transactions, thereby diversifying the financial landscape. Countries may also choose to hold fewer US dollar reserves, opting instead for a more balanced portfolio of currencies. They might increase their holdings of other currencies, such as the euro or the Chinese yuan, to mitigate risks associated with dollar dependency. De-dollarization is not a new phenomenon. It has historical roots and has been a topic of discussion for decades. It has been discussed and debated for many years, with varying degrees of interest and urgency. Developing countries have often sought to reduce their dependence on the dollar, aiming for greater financial autonomy. They see it as a way to assert their economic independence and strengthen their own financial systems. They also seek to protect themselves from the impact of US economic policies, which can be unpredictable and far-reaching. In recent years, however, de-dollarization has gained momentum, becoming a more prominent strategy for many nations. This is due in part to the growing use of sanctions by the US government, which has prompted countries to reconsider their reliance on the dollar. The US has increasingly used sanctions as a tool of foreign policy, affecting numerous countries around the world. It targets countries like Russia, Iran, and Venezuela, creating economic challenges for these nations. These actions have led some countries to seek alternatives to the dollar, exploring other currencies and financial systems. They want to avoid being caught in the crossfire of US sanctions, which can have severe economic repercussions. Geopolitical tensions are a major driving force behind de-dollarization. The rise of China and other emerging economies has shifted the balance of global power. This has led to a more multipolar world. In this world, the US is no longer the sole economic superpower. Countries like China and Russia have been actively promoting the use of their own currencies in international trade. They have established alternative payment systems. These systems bypass the SWIFT network. SWIFT is the primary system for international dollar transactions. The creation of these alternative systems is a direct challenge to the dollar's dominance. They provide countries with options. They no longer have to rely on the US-controlled financial system. The formation of alliances like BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, further reflects this trend. BRICS members are seeking to enhance their economic cooperation. They are creating a more multipolar world. They are also looking to reduce their dependence on the US dollar. The impact of de-dollarization on global trade and finance is already being felt, and its ripple effects are becoming more evident with each passing day. One significant development has been the increasing use of alternative currencies in commodity transactions, which is changing the dynamics of international trade. For example, China, the world's largest importer of oil, has started to use its currency, the yuan, to pay for oil imports from Russia and other countries. This move is part of a broader strategy to internationalize the yuan. This shift away from the dollar in commodity markets could have far-reaching consequences, potentially altering the balance of power in global finance. It could potentially diminish the dollar's role as the world's leading reserve currency, a position it has held for decades. This is because oil has traditionally been priced and traded in dollars, making the dollar indispensable in global trade. This has created a huge demand for dollars globally, reinforcing its dominance in international markets. If more commodities are priced and traded in other currencies, demand for the dollar could decrease, leading to a significant shift in global financial dynamics. Moreover, new payment systems are emerging, leveraging technology to facilitate smoother transactions. These systems facilitate cross-border transactions in various currencies, making international trade more flexible and efficient. This reduces the need for intermediaries that typically use the US dollar, thereby lowering transaction costs and increasing efficiency. These developments are gradually reshaping the landscape of global finance, leading to a more decentralized and diversified system. They are creating a more fragmented system, where multiple currencies coexist and compete. In this new system, the dollar is no longer the only game in town, signaling a new era in global trade and finance. Major global banks are closely monitoring the trend of de-dollarization and its potential impact on the global economy. Goldman Sachs, for instance, has acknowledged the growing use of alternative currencies in international trade. They predict that this trend will continue. J.P. Morgan, another financial heavyweight, has expressed concerns about the long-term implications of de-dollarization for the U.S. economy. They argue that a decline in the dollar's dominance could lead to higher interest rates for American borrowers. It could also diminish the country's purchasing power in the global market. While these institutions acknowledge that the dollar is unlikely to be dethroned overnight, they recognize that its dominance is being challenged. They are advising their clients to prepare for a more fragmented global financial system. In this system, multiple currencies will play a significant role. Section 6. A future uncertain challenges and opportunities for the United States. The potential decline of the US dollar's dominance presents both significant challenges and unique opportunities for the United States. On the one hand, a weaker dollar could make American exports more competitive on the global market, potentially boosting the manufacturing sector. However, it could also lead to higher inflation, affecting the cost of living for everyday Americans. This inflation could make it more expensive for Americans to buy imported goods, impacting consumer choices and spending habits. Moreover, a decline in the dollar's role as the world's reserve currency could reduce the United States' ability to finance its budget deficit at low cost, leading to potential economic strain. Foreign investors might demand higher interest rates on U.S. Treasury bonds if they perceive the dollar as less stable or desirable, increasing the cost of borrowing. To adapt to this changing landscape, the U.S. needs to maintain a strong and stable economy, ensuring resilience against global financial shifts. It needs to promote innovation across various sectors, fostering technological advancements and new business models. It also needs to strengthen its relationships with allies, building robust international partnerships that can support economic stability. Furthermore, the U.S. needs to engage constructively in the global effort to reform the international monetary system, ensuring its voice is heard in shaping future policies. This will ensure a more stable and equitable global financial order, benefiting not just the U.S. but the entire world. Section 7. The road ahead. Possible scenarios for the future of money. Predicting the future of the US dollar is a complex task. There are many factors at play. However, we can envision a few possible scenarios. One possibility is that the dollar remains the dominant global currency. This outcome would require the US to address the concerns driving de-dollarization. Another scenario is a more gradual decline of the dollar's dominance. In this scenario, alternative currencies, such as the euro and the yuan, gain prominence. The global financial system would become more fragmented. Multiple currency blocks might emerge. A more extreme scenario, though less likely in the short term, is a rapid collapse of the dollar. This could occur due to a major geopolitical event or a loss of confidence in the US economy. Such a scenario would have severe consequences for the global financial system. Section 8. Navigating a multipolar world implications for global stability. The shift away from a dollar-centric system has profound implications for global stability. A more multipolar currency system could lead to more competition and innovation in the financial sector. This would benefit emerging economies. However, it could also increase the risk of currency wars and financial instability. To mitigate these risks, international cooperation is crucial. Countries need to work together to establish clear rules and mechanisms for managing exchange rates. They also need to enhance financial regulation and supervision. The goal should be to create a more stable and resilient global financial system. This system should be able to withstand shocks and promote sustainable economic growth. The transition to a multipolar currency system will likely be gradual and complex. It will require careful management and coordination among nations. The stakes are high. A stable and well-functioning global financial system is essential for economic prosperity and international security. Section 9. Conclusion. The end of an era or a new chapter for the dollar. The US dollar's dominance is facing unprecedented challenges. De-dollarization is a growing trend. It is driven by geopolitical tensions, the emergence of new economic powers, and the increasing use of financial sanctions. While the dollar is unlikely to be replaced as the world's leading reserve currency overnight, its influence is waning. This shift presents both challenges and opportunities for the United States and the global economy. The future of the dollar remains uncertain. However, one thing is clear: the world is moving towards a more multipolar currency system. This new system will require adaptability, innovation, and cooperation among nations to ensure its stability and success.